Now we will read chapter 2 of English Pedagogy, Principle of Language Teaching. In previous years cited, 2 or 3 questions are regularly asked from this chapter. Focus topic of this chapter are principle of language teaching, maxims used while teaching, etc. Language definition and meaning. Language is a medium through which one can express one's idea, thoughts, feeling, etc. Different languages are spoken in the world. It is very difficult to ascertain how this language originated. It is believed that people started conveying messages through signals, postures, gestures, etc. So we can say that language is a human system of communication that uses arbitrary signals such as voice, sound, gestures, and written symbols. According to Edward Sapir, language is a purely human and non-intensive method of communicating ideas, emotions, and desires by means of a system of voluntary produced symbols. Characteristic of a language. Some of the important characteristics of language are given below. Language is a vital part of growth process. It is a social act, a means of adjustment to control over other people. Language exists in a society. It is a means of nourishing and developing culture and establishing human relations. Language is a symbolic. Language is symbol. Language consists of various symbols that are employed to denote some objects, occurrence, or meanings. Language is systematic. Although language is symbolic, yet its symbols are arranged in a particular system. All language have phonological and grammatical systems, and written a system there are several subsystems. Language is arbitrary. There is no inherent relations between the words of a language and their meanings or the ideas conveyed by them. There is no reason why a female adult human being is called a woman in English, adult aurat in Urdu, Zen in Persian, and female in French. The choice of word is arbitrary, but once a word is selected for a particular reference, it comes to stay as such. Language is the outcome of evolution and convention. No language was created in a day out of a mutually agreed upon formula by a group of humans. Each generation transmits this convention on to the next. Like all human institutions, languages also change and die, grow and expand. Language is productive and creative. The structural elements of human language can be combined to produce new utterances never heard before according to their needs of a society. Aims of language teaching. Various aims of language teaching are as follows: ability to understand the speaker's language, ability to express fluently and diversely using different skills, ability to present or write views in a coherent manner, ability to learn technological language used in teaching of other subjects such as music, computer, or sports, etc. Ability to understand the scientific aspects of a language, development of creative skills, development of a learner's sensitivity towards national issues, cultural heritage, and different aspects of contemporary life. Importance of language. Language is our primary source of communication. It is the method through which we share our ideas and thoughts with others. Some experts even say that language is what separates human beings from animals. Language is the most important means for acquiring human knowledge. The 3 phases of human knowledge, preservation, transmission, and advancement, are possible only with the help of a language. Language is also the best source of social and cultural development. The 3 phases of human knowledge are preservation, transmission, and advancement. Importance of English language. Study and use of English language is important in India as it is the most common foreign language. Everyone needs to learn the language in order to get in touch with the international level. According to University Grants Commission UGC, English is a language which is rich in literature, humanistic, scientific and technical. If under sentimental urges we should give up English language, we could cut ourselves off from the living stream of ever growing knowledge. Some more reasons of its importance are as follows. English is also the primary language of press and internet. More books and newspapers are written in English than in any other language. English is the only language where maximum resources are available, which makes it easier to learn. English, being an international language, makes travel and business convenient to others. In India, English is regarded as the second language, so its importance cannot be undermined. Principles of language teaching. Many psychologists have laid down certain theories regarding language teaching. Some important theories or principles are as follows. Theory of motivation and interest. Motivation is an important factor in language learning, particularly in learning a second language. English resources and textbooks should be selected according to the interest and aptitudes of students. The teacher can arouse people's interest in a number of ways, and language learning can be made increasingly interesting. It can be done with the help of charts, pictures, flashcards, models, blackboards, sketches, and other similar visual devices. Theory of imitations. According to many psychologists, the child learns a language through imitations. No learner by himself ever invented a language. Good speech is the result of imitating good pronunciation and vocabulary. Imitation followed by intensive practice help in the mastery of the language system. The teacher should also become a good model for the children. Theory of habit formation. Language learning, according to Plummer, is essentially habit forming process, a process during which we acquire new habits. Teacher can make language pattern as habit through intensive pattern practice in a variety of situations. In language learning, habits of speech, listening, reading, writing, correct pronunciation should be formed. Theory of exercise, practice and drill. According to B.F. Skinner, psychological experiments have proved that practicing and drilling play an important part in language teaching. Any learning, if it is continuously repeated, gets imprinted in children's mind and he learns it efficiently. Teachers should make sure that repetition of things at proper intervals should be done. Theory of individual difference. Every child is unique and different from others. In language teaching, we have to keep in mind that learner possesses different abilities, personalities, and belongs to different backgrounds. So, stimulus needs of every learner will be different. Teaching has to be done keeping in mind the individual difference and problems arising out of it. The teacher should adapt different tactics, strategies, and multiple approaches to make learning meaningful. Theory of using mother tongue. Some linguists are against the use of mother tongue in teaching foreign language. They believe that mother tongue should be sparingly and judiciously used while teaching English. Of course, at an early stage, some explanation will have to be given in pupils' mother tongue, but at later stage, inputs from the targeted language in a simple, graded manner can help in minimizing the fluence of mother tongue. Theory of exposure to the language. Learners should be provided with language familiar environment so that they could get maximum opportunities to listen and speak. Environment can be created by ample use of language by the teacher, forming a language club, displaying charts and using audiovisual devices. Correlations with life. The subject matter taught in English language should correlate with life. The Course material and audiovisual aids should be correlated to the child's life. It makes learning easy and comprehensible. So, English should be practiced in everyday situations with which children can easily identify. This why meaning will be clarified and reinforced. Theory of oral approach. Speech motivates the learners to learn. Speech must precede reading and writing. Introduction to lessons should be orally, as learning to speak a language is always the shortest way to learning to read and write it. Theory of skeleton and gradation. Items of learning should be presented according to the order of age. It should not be too rigid grading. There should be structural and vocabulary grading. Essential vocabulary and basic structure of a language should be taught first. Skeleton and gradation should depend on their frequency, usefulness, teachability, and difficulty levels. Theory of ratio and series. Any language has certain basic skills. It is necessary that teaching should be done in such a way that child is able to learn all skills as listening, speaking, reading, and writing skill are correlated. Deficiency in any one of the areas will certainly create difficulties in learning a language. So, teaching should be proportionate and all four language skills should be integrated. Theory of child-centered learning. Effort should be made to have a student-centered class as far as possible. Students should be given priority while teaching. A teacher should not get so absorbed in teaching that he or she may not involve or interact with students. Teachers' focus should be on the child and teaching should be done keeping in mind the child's need. Maxims used while teaching. Maxims are certain steps to be followed while teaching. Known to unknown. Teaching should be carried on what the student known either in their native language or in English. It is considered that old language lays the foundation of new language. That is, pronoun in English grammar should be taught when the learner has a knowledge of nouns. Simple to complex. Simple things and vocabulary should be taught first before proceeding to complex structure or vocabulary items. By learning simple things, learners feel motivated and confident. This would certainly help in better understanding of complex things. Concrete to abstract. Concrete things are real things which can be seen and felt by our senses. Abstract things can be just imagined. Teaching done with the help of concrete objects lasts for a longer period. That is, learner can imagine about a golden apple only if he has seen an apple. Analysis to synthesis. When teaching is done from detailed teaching to summarizing, we grow from analyzing to synthesize. That is, if a learner is taught different tense with example, he is able to understand sentence structure easily. Induction to deduction. In induction method, we give some example first, then try to reach on a conclusion. In deduction, first of all a rules is explained, then some examples are given. Teaching should always proceed from induction to deduction. Example speak louder than language explanation. Such example can help the students learn much better the complicated concept. Psychological to logical. While teaching, the interest, attitudes, aptitudes, capacities and difficulty level of the learners should be kept in mind. That is, vocabulary and sentence structure of a language should be taught keeping in mind the difficulty levels of the learners and then could be arranged and explained in a logical manner. Related from to meaning and contextualize. All classes activities should be meaningful. Wherever activity the students are involved in, the students should be able to understand the meaning of what they hear, say, read or write. Teach new vocabulary items in context.